Get this man back. Get this man back as soon as possible. Morning, guys. Morning, all. I hope everyone is all right after last night's absolute shit show yet again. I'm lost for words. I don't know what to say. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday morning. We have lost again. Another defeat. I'm going to bring the league table up in a minute because for about 30 seconds last night, I've never been in love with a player so much as I was with Benjamin Sesko when he scored an equaliser for United. And that is just about where we are as Spurs fans, relying on other teams to get goals to keep us in the Premier League. What are we doing now? What are we doing now? We are an absolute joke. Last night's performance was pathetic. A must-win game for Tottenham. A must-win game. And we got served up that pile of shit. And I am so fed up with the manager coming out and saying, oh, we tried hard. There was lots of running. We work day in, day out to try and get better. We're working hard. We will put it right. Well, I'm sorry. You've had long enough and you haven't put it right. And I get it. We have injuries, right? We have probably more injuries than any club in Europe. But the 11 that I saw on the pitch last night were more than good enough. More than good enough to beat a Newcastle side that are as woeful as we are. Now, you look at the side man for man, you say, yeah, probably Newcastle are better. But we had enough quality on that pitch to cause problems. And that first half, we did absolutely nothing. It was inept. It was shocking. Really, really shocking. And I have had enough. I thought I would wake up this morning and he would be gone. I thought I'd wake up this morning and Frank would be sacked. But no, he's still here. He's still here. Will he be here today? Probably. He thinks he's going to be here for the Arsenal game. He's very confident. Speaking last night in the media, he said, I will 100% be here for the Arsenal game. Man, if he's here for the Arsenal game, we are so done. And listen, it's not all on Frank. I'm laying the blame on Frank at the moment because he's the man in charge, but it's not all on him. Of course, the board have a lot to answer for, as do the players. The players don't get away scot-free. Solanke last night coming out after the game saying, oh, we know the first half performance is unacceptable. You know, we aim to put it right. Bollocks! How many times has the first half been unacceptable? We see it week in and week out, every single week. When the first half, we are absolute powder puff. In the second half, we put a little bit more effort in. And then at the end of the game, it's like, oh, yeah, but second half was better. It's so shit. I'm so done with this club. And we are in a relegation battle. There's no doubt about it now. You know, West Ham were seconds away from winning, and they would have been 3 points behind us. As it is, we've got Arsenal next. They're Bournemouth at home. If they beat Bournemouth at home, we lose to Arsenal, which we will. 2 points away from the relegation zone. We are an absolute mess, guys. I'm going to bring the league table up before I go to the chat. Good morning, all, guys. I'm not ignoring you. But this is the league table as it is. And you can see us down. And even Leeds, you freaking United, went above us last night. We are behind Leeds United in the Premier League table after 26 games. That is unacceptable. Forest play tonight, I think. If they win, they'll be level with us. you just look at West Ham and you think, okay, it still looks like a lot of points, 5, right? But they win the next game and we lose it, and that's extremely possible. We are in serious, serious trouble. Now, can we get out of it? Absolutely. Of course we can. We can get out of it. There's no doubt about it. Will we get out of it? I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I'm not sure we will. Guys, I know, listen, we're all fed up. Sometimes it's good to vent. Sometimes it is good to let off a bit of steam. And that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm just disgusted with the club as a whole. I think we're a bit embarrassing, aren't we? You know, a lot of the players for me not putting enough effort in. Jed Spence last night didn't look like he cared. Didn't look like he cared. I honestly think he's fallen out with the manager. I don't think he's interested in playing for this manager. And then you look at apparently Frank has come out and said this wasn't last night. This was in previous interviews that not all of the players like him, but as long as they work hard. Well, it's pretty clear the players who don't like him, in my opinion, and Jed Spence, I think, is one of them. I may be jumping the gun there, but I really do think there are major problems at Spurs, and I will be amazed. No, I won't be amazed. I won't be surprised at all. But Thomas Frank needs to be sacked today, right? Today. Now, I was one of the ones who I've been wanting Frank out for a while, but over recent weeks, I've been like, what's the point? We might as well just keep him to the end of the season. But we're losing every game now. We need a change, even if it's getting a manager in for the interim, just to give us a bounce, give us a couple of victories, and then we're out of trouble, hopefully. We need something to change and change quickly. And the manager is not doing anything. It is what it is. Let's go to the chat. I need to talk to you guys. Marcus, big up, mate. Says, morning, Nige. Yet another mess. How come Thomas Frank is still our manager? I'm glad I don't pay to go watch. They wouldn't waste my money. I agree, mate. I agree. Barbaric says, good morning, young Nige. I tried to support Thomas Frank as much as possible, but I'm sorry he has to go. 59 years supporting the club. It's heartbreaking to see us like this. It so is, mate. It so is. Barbaric is in, and he follows it up by saying, smash the likes and subs, people. Please help this channel. Yeah, absolutely. Smash the like, smash the sub if you haven't. Really would appreciate it chasing down 1,500 subs. So any help would be fantastic. Steve's in. Big up, Steve. Says, morning, Nige. Dark times for the club. Can't believe Frank is still in charge. 2 wins in 17 games. Nuno got sacked for less. Enoch don't have a clue. I know we have gone from sacking managers who lose a couple of games to backing managers who lose every week. We did the same with Ange, right? I know he won us a trophy, but we did the same with him in the league. We were woeful for a long time. Every week I felt like I was doing a show with Dan saying, yeah, he's got to go. He's going to go this week. He's going to go. We've lost again. He didn't. And the same was happening with Frank. How much longer do we have to wait before we make the change? I get it though, right? There's nobody to come in. Who's going to come in? I don't want De Zerbi. He's not the man. He is not the man for me. Guys, drop a comment in. Let me know. Who would you have in charge? It would be an interim, right? Probably Hettinger, you would think. I'd like to see someone outside the club come in now. I think we need fresh ideas. For me, Hettinger wouldn't be the man. I don't think much would change with him in charge personally. But guys, let me know. Cookie saying good morning to Barbaric. Simon Cohen says, morning, Nige. I've had enough. I've had enough too, mate. It is so crap at the club at the moment. And Steve saying the 2 Mark show. Good morning, guys. Dark times for our club. I'm generally losing all hope we can stay up. Yeah, so am I. So am I. It really is. It really is depressing. Barbaric saying, what's scary? The only confident answer Thomas Frank gave was on his job. Disgraceful. Absolutely. He was very forthright when he was talking about his job, but absolutely nothing else. Thomas Frank's got to go today. He's got to go today. Maybe within the next hour. Who knows? Ronnie says, It's getting to the point now where I just don't care, and that hurts the football club I love. It is a shambles. I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. It doesn't even. This is the thing. We lose games. Doesn't even hurt anymore. It's just you know, what do we expect? What do we expect? A lot of these players for me are just not up to it. And it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore about this club. Um, Marcus says it all. We are shite. We are. We are. We are absolute shite at the moment. And I can't see it improving. Rainer says, singing, we are going down and straight back up. I don't even know if we come straight back up. You know what I mean? I think if we went down, we could do a bit of a forest and be down for a little while. We cannot afford to go down. We cannot afford to go down. Um, but let's see what happens. Ronnie says Forest at home to Wolves tonight. They will have the same points as us. I can see Forest winning. And then we really are in the shit. There is no doubt about it. Um, we've got massive games, haven't we? We have to now beat Palace at home, Leeds at home, Forest at home. If we can win all three of those games, I think we stay up. If we lose one of them, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Barbaric says all we do is pass backwards because there's absolutely no movement. It's like they don't know how to play football. It's disgusting to watch. It is, mate. I agree. It's a joke to watch. Everything in that first half was long ball. How many long balls did we hit in that first half? It's like watching Bolton back in the day, Wimbledon. Shocking football. It's not what I want to watch as a Spurs fan. Listen, you can get away with it if you're winning games, right? But when you're losing as well, just can't have it. And you're right, too many static players, not wanting the ball, scared, hiding. And I get it. I get it, right? We're in trouble. The fans are not happy. It must be hard playing in that stadium at the moment. But one fans will forgive is bravery. If you're brave on the ball and you can see the effort there and you're trying, the fans will get behind that. You know, when they see you hiding, that is when it is unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable. CJ says Spence was not fit. No, he possibly wasn't. He possibly wasn't. It wasn't necessarily the way Spence was playing. It was his body language for me that showed that he really wasn't interested last night. That was for me. Listen, we all have difference of opinions. And it's not, listen, this isn't making Spence a scapegoat here. It was a lot of them. A lot of them were didn't look interested. And as Barbaric said, um, no movement, no movement, didn't want the ball. Marianne, big up Marianne, said, good morning, Nigel, and all in the chat. We were bloody awful. We absolutely were. Terrible first half performance. And Spurs set a new record last night in the Premier League this season. First half corner tally was Spurs 0, Newcastle 9. It's the most any team has had in the first half of a Premier League game this season. Congratulations, Tottenham, breaking more records by the day. Yeah, we were at home for God's sake. Unforgivable. Now, listen, Newcastle are a good side, right? They are a good side. I know they've been on a bad run, but listen, we'd all take a manager tomorrow, right? Or today, if possible. They are a good side. I was looking at their team last night. And I think they're so much better players, so many better players than us. But for me, it was just the lack of intensity. Such a big game. The lack of passion, the lack of fight. There wasn't any there. And it's just unforgivable for me. It really is. Guys, if you haven't, smash a like. It is so important. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. It will get more positive one day. One day, Pure Coys will be positive channel. Right now, though, fuck that. It's shit. So it is what it is. Aussie Ange says we are winning the Champions League. Come on. Listen, I mean, who knows? Who knows, right? Unlikely, unlikely, but who knows? We did win the Europa League last season and were bloody awful. So it is what it is. And Aussie Ange says, in Frank, we trust. I think you're being sarcastic now. I think you are. Listen, like I've said, it's not all on Frank, right? We have got massive injuries. It's more, there is enough quality on that pitch to attack teams. And the lack of any sort of urgency in the team is a real concern for me, a real concern. It looked like last night we were almost that first half, we was kind of like just jabbing at them to see what they had. We're at home. Go at them. Go at them. We have enough quality. And it's just so disappointing. Steve says, funny how De Zerbi left Marseille by mutual consent last night. He was first choice for Spurs manager before Frank. Guys, let me know what you think about De Zerbi. For me, oh no, that's an absolute car crash waiting to happen. I don't think he would last a season at Spurs. I think it would kick off very quickly. Saying that, I do think he does play good football. I think I have my heart set on Poch, and this is why any other manager coming in full time right now in my head is like, nah, I want Poch back. It's that itch that needs scratching, and I want to scratch it. So, yeah, it is what it is. But we will see what happens with De Zerbi. Ghosted is in, saying big up, Nige, big up to you, Ghosted, mate. I hope you are well and not suffering too much. And Ozzy Ann says Frank will take us to the European. He definitely won't. He definitely won't. Um, but hey, it is what it is. Shamtan says, Morning Nige, hope you're good today. Why is he still in a job? We will get relegated if he stays. I don't know, mate. I'm good to start with. I'm good. Hope you're well too, mate. And I don't know why he's in a job still. He's got to go today, right? This has to be it today. He can take Lange with him as well. Both of them get out, get out. And I feel for Frank. I wanted it to work so badly. It hasn't. It hasn't worked. It is worse than it's ever been. I do put a lot of the blame on the players as well. Players, manager, board all need to take a slice of the pie. But listen, the buck stops at the manager, right? It always has at any club. At any club, the buck stops with the manager. He hasn't performed. He needs to go. No doubt about it. Aussie Coy says a big up, Nige. Big up to you. I hope you're well. Ghost is saying Frank out 100%. He has to go. He has to go. And then he says, go get Maresca. I'm not sure about Maresca, you know. Not sure about him. Guys, drop a comment and let me know who you want in charge at Spurs when Frank. I think we can safely say when Frank goes now, right? Aussie Coy says Sherwood. I wouldn't be against Sherwood, especially if he wears his gilet. Love a bit of Sherwood gilet. Barbaric said no manager will make a difference. The club has no plan. Absolutely right. And this is the problem, right? This is the problem. As much as I want him replaced, are we going to change? You know, for me, the only reason I want him replaced right now is because we need that new manager bounce. We're just going one way with Frank now, and that's down. There doesn't seem to be any fight in the players left, or the manager, to be honest. So I think he has to go today. The 2 marks, Cookie says, smash that like, people. Absolutely smash that like. And if you haven't, get over to the 2 mark show. Smash a sub for them. They smashed 750 last night with that mammoth stream, 5.5 hours. Wow. Fair play. You must be absolutely shattered, Cookie. Must be absolutely shattered. The Stoic says, I suppose it's a little unfair to bring someone in with Arsenal as the next game. Let Frank cover that fixture and then sack him. I'm kind of at that point, Stoic. Well, I think doesn't matter now. Let's get someone in. You know, I get, that new manager banks might not happen for a game, but I think if we go into Arsenal with Frank in charge, it's almost like saying, we've lost that game. We've lost that game. We'll wait to the next one. And whereas I agree that Arsenal are fantastic, Spurs are awful, you do never know in a North London derby, right? And if we can get a new manager in and get some passion to the players, maybe we might get something out of it. It's very unlikely. Andrew Gregory says, Morning, Nige. I had a great evening. I went to see an audience with Harry Redknapp at Aylesbury. Wow, did you, mate? Did you pass on info that we need you? We need you, Harry. I'd love Harry Redknapp back just for even 6-7 weeks. It'd be fantastic. Marcus says, how we get relegated, then the owners will think, shit, loss of money. That's all they care about. It is, but you know what? I don't even think they care about that. I don't think they'd overly care if we went down. You know, the stadium would still make money. I mean, it wouldn't sell out every week. Let's face it. There was a lot of empty seats at the stadium last night. A lot of empty seats. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to this club. Ryan says, for me, it's the home fans' lack of anger towards the board that's causing them not to do anything about Frank or in Windows. We are so effed. I agree. The fans need to call the board out. They absolutely do at the stadium. You know, there was a few chants, wasn't there? A few well, not board chants, but a few chants for Pochettino last night. I expected it once Newcastle went 2-1 up that the whole stadium would be chanting for Pochettino. Didn't really happen. Lots of boos at halftime, lots of boos at full time. But you're absolutely right, Ryan. I think the fans need to really vent at the board. That might make the board think, oh shit, we need to do something here. Why they're constantly going at the manager, it's not going to change much, is it? Let's face it. Um, Big up to you, mate. It says this is what happens when we bring a Nando chicken to a relegation dogfight. Absolutely. Though I do love a Nando chicken, to be fair. Um, but yeah, Marcus says we are doomed. Unfortunately, we are unless we pull our finger out of our ass, mate, aren't we? We, you know, we can do it. We can get out of this. But the board need to do something, right? The board need to do something. They are sitting on their ass. We are doing absolutely nothing. Andrew says it was Enix's plan to bring in all the kids and a championship manager in preparation when they take us down. Yeah, it's a real concern at the moment. Guys, what do we think on Spurs going down? Give me a percentage on what you think is going to happen. You know, a percentage of Tottenham Hotspur getting relegated. I I said on Sean Butler's show yesterday, 30%. I think that's gone up to maybe 35%. I still think we will be okay, but it certainly is yeah, it's get in, seat of your pants kind of thing now. And we need those victories and quickly. But give me a percentage in the chat of how much you think Spurs will go down. Ghost is saying we can't buy a win at the Mo. The incompetence of this board to still have this man in charge after no signings is abysmal. I absolutely agree. It's embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. Amin's in. Big up Amin says that we will definitely get relegated. Get Tim Sherwood in ASAP. He will kick the players on the butt and save us. Well, possibly, possibly. Mind you, Sherwood did take Villa down, didn't he? So listen, we need something. We need something. I'd take anyone in the chat in charge of Tottenham at the moment. I really would. That's how desperate I am. Ghost is saying there's clearly no more he can do with the squad, so we need to move on to the next guy ASAP. That's why I am ghosted. It's it's not so much that Frank is necessarily a bad manager. I think he'd do a good job somewhere else. Is that I think for whatever reason the the players aren't playing for him. Frank seems to have lost everybody, right? He's definitely lost the fans, and he seems like he's lost the players. The only people he's got back in his corner seem to be Lange and Vinay. And I'm not sure whether they are now. We will see what happens today. I think he's got to go. He's got to go today. Today. Amin said Tim Sherwood in, Frank out. Guys, what do we think about Tim Sherwood? Would you take him? Would you take Tim Sherwood? Ghost is saying Colin Mawani decided to finally sprint after being here for 6 months. Some of these players are also a joke. Yeah, absolutely. He did one thing, didn't he? That little run down the line, the cross, which, let's be honest, Tell should have scored from, in my opinion. Had the run on Trippier, and it was almost like he kind of backed out of it. For me, he should have scored. That was the one bit of good play that Mawani's done in the Premier League for Spurs, in my opinion. Steve says we're all kind of brushed off Spence van der Ven ignoring Frank's situation earlier on in the season. However, that should have been a warning sign of what was to come. Absolutely, I agree. And I was one of those ones who said, "Oh, it's nothing. There's nothing in it." Obviously, there was because some of these players are not playing. You know, Van der Ven played well last night. I thought he always does. but even his demeanor, the way he was, his face, he looked like he really was just fed up the whole game. Um, it's for whatever reason, it's just not working at Tottenham at the moment, is it? Kate's in, said, "Morning, Nige." Good morning, Kate. I hope you are well. And Jimmy is in. Big up, Nige. Good morning. Big up to you, Jimmy. I hope you're well, buddy. Ghost is saying, "I take Deserby for now." Um, maybe Deserby for a, I don't know, a short-term fix. Maybe. Would Deserby want to come in short term? I'm not sure. But he's the kind of manager that would stick a rocket up your ass, isn't he? He is that kind of manager. And he's also that kind of manager that would call out the board, which is why I don't think it would work. But maybe short term, maybe short term. Ryan says that trumpet at the start of the game is a lullaby. It puts players to sleep. That's why we are all for every first half. Yes, blame the trumpeter. It's your fault. Um, I'm not big on the old trumpet thing at the start. I've got to be honest. I love, yeah, when the Spurs go marching, it's fantastic. But how many clubs have that song? Yeah. Oh, when the Spurs, oh, when the Saints, about 20 clubs have that. I'd like us to have our very own song. You know, um, "Can't Smile Without You" would be perfect, perfect song to sing before a game, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Marcus says 100% agree. Eyes Poch. I think Poch is going to be in. I think he's going to be in the summer. I don't know. Freddie said Deserby just left Marseille. No excuses for keeping that manager anymore. And again, yeah, it depends what Spurs want, right? Maybe he comes in. We will see what happens. I think things are going to start moving. How many days before the Arsenal game? What is it? 11, 12 days before the Arsenal game. So we have a lot of time now. Let's sort it out, Tottenham. Don't be doing what you usually do and nothing. Sort it out and sort it out quickly. Guys, over 90 of you in. Please smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. I really would appreciate it. Chasing down 1,500 is a slow process. But guys, you could help me. 7 or 8 subs a day would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. E. Rice says, no one is going to take the job. Look at the January window. No backing. Spurs are one of those jobs, isn't it? It's one of those jobs where, as a manager, in my opinion, if you come to Spurs and you fail, like most managers do, you don't really lose a reputation, right? Because you go somewhere else, you're successful. Look at every manager that's left us over the years. They've all been successful at other clubs. So I don't think you lose that reputation of being a good manager. But if you come to Spurs as a manager and succeed and win, wow, suddenly you become legendary. Look at Anne. She's did one of the worst Premier League seasons in history, but he won that Europa League and he is a bit of a cult hero at Tottenham now, isn't he? I think as a manager, you can't lose coming to Spurs. So I think, actually, I kind of disagree. I think a manager would take the Tottenham job simply because, listen, if he fails, so what? Look at other managers that failed. Many of them have, most of them have. It is what it is. Jimmy says, we even retreated after scoring instead of going for the winner. Truly negative and baffling tactics. Man, bang on. This pissed me off so much last night. We got that equaliser. We fought back. Whether we deserved it or not, I don't know. But we got that equaliser. I thought, here we go. Come on, go on and win. And I don't know whether it is Tottenham retreating into their shell or whether it was Newcastle thinking, oh, Spurs have just scored. We better go and get another one. It kind of felt a little bit like Newcastle didn't get out of second or third gear the entire game. And then when Spurs scored, Newcastle were like, okay, let's up it a bit. But you're right, Tottenham sat back again. They sat back and listen, it is what it is. The goal came from a mistake by Gallagher. We were on a breakaway, really good chance. And Gallagher, frustrating. I like Gallagher, but he kicked the bloody ground. I mean, you're a professional footballer, man. And they score from it. And what can you do? You've got to laugh about it, or it just would eat you up inside. But I agree, that did frustrate me, Jimmy. It really did. Rodney saying, big up, Frank out. Big up to you, Rodney. I think he's got to go today. He's got to go today, surely. 100 in the house, guys. That's great numbers. Please smash a like. hit the subscribe button. It really does help a small channel out. And Vindaloo's in. Big up to you, Vindaloo. Says stuck in city traffic, Nige. I thought I'd give you words of encouragement. The championship, love. Chucking mince pies at the always fans. Learn how to duck, set contingency plans, and buy some new helmets. Listen, hey, a season in the championship, though it sounds horrific, new clubs to go to, new games to watch on the telly. You know, maybe not all bad, guys. Maybe not all bad. I am clutching at straws, of course. But big up to you, Vindaloo. Let's hope for an Arsenal defeat tonight. It's probably not going to happen, is it? Peter's in the house. Big up to you, mate. Saying it's 7:49 p.m. in Melbourne. I hope you've had a good day, buddy, and saved many lives. Big up to you, mate. Cookie is saying, get someone in to lift the club and get the bounce. We need a couple of wins very quick. This is where I am, mate. We need to get that bounce going. So we need a couple of wins. Get it done. Get someone in ASAP. Vindaloo said Amazon got some great deals in. Arsenal fans are absolutely loving this, aren't they? Absolutely loving it. Bod the Cap says, morning, mate. Feeling suicidal this morning. Championship beckons. Sack Frank and give Roy Keane a go. Can't do any worse. Another one. Roy Keane would stick a rocket at their ass, wouldn't he? For sure. But, mate, Bod, don't let it get to you that much, mate. It is just football. And whatever league we're in next season, whether it's the Premier League or the Championship, we will love our club. We will support our club. But hopefully, guys, it's the Premier League. And Vindaloo said, in a bit, take care, buddy. Have a good one. Don't work too hard. Kate says, nice. There was no urgency, no fight in those players last night. Players couldn't even get up for a relegation fight. We are done. Bang on. Absolutely agree. I'm not expecting beautiful football. I'm not expecting wonderful things to happen. But what I am expecting is some fucking fight and some passion in those players. And they give us nothing. And for me, Thomas Frank is part of that reason. If you're a manager on the sideline and you're seeing that shit show on the pitch, surely you're up, yeah? You're up. You're at the players. Come on, stop bloody doing nothing. Nothing. He stands there pointing a bit. It's like, come on, man. If I see this once more from Frank, it's like, come on, get the players motivated. It's so frustrating. R. Williams says, morning, Nigel chat. The old saying goes, you can't polish a turd, and this team is dog shit. What manager is going to want this job? Average players and the board who are clueless in a total shit show. Listen, it is what it is, mate, isn't it? Big up to you. I'm so frustrated with all of it. I really am. I'm so frustrated with all of it. But what can we do? What can we do as fans, right? We just sit back, we watch. And I think the new manager could get something more out of these players. I really do. Vindaloo saying, can we have a leaving party, please? Well, possibly. We will see. We will see, Vindaloo. But listen, if we have one, I'm sure you will be invited to it. I'm sure you will be invited to it, mate. I'm just so frustrated at the moment. I really am so frustrated at the moment. Guys, there are a lot of you in. Please smash that like and hit that subscribe button. And a big up to Peter Kangalas, who has sent a super chat. Thank you so much, man. Much appreciated. Much love to you. Says, we are going backwards. Bring Ange back. Oh, the fights we had last season over Ange Postecoglou. Listen, it is what it is. It just goes to show, right, that both for me, Ange and Frank are not good enough, which also tells me a lot of the players are not good enough either. But big up to you, Peter. Thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated, buddy. I would never ask for money, never ask for super chats or memberships. They are available. But what I do ask for is subs and likes. It is so important, that like button. Get over 50 likes. It pushes you out to a wider audience. The 2 Mark show says, I'm here for it, Nige. 4 hours kip, ready to go again. We'll be having it large at 9:30. Absolutely. I will be sending you over at 9:32. The Two Mark Show. The Stoic says also embarrassing was having two players booked for simulation. Jesus, yeah, we are that desperate. We have to resort to that. God help us. Definitely the first one in Saar. Embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing in his own half as well. I will say with Xavi Simons, I think he was expecting the challenge. It didn't come. I still think it was a bit of a block. To be honest, no contact was made. I do think Simmons had to kind of arc his way around it. But yeah, it was a bit embarrassing. It really was a bit embarrassing. Freddie says De Zerbi plays front foot football and isn't scared of taking risks. Everything I want in a manager, yeah, absolutely fair play. Listen, as I said, in a manager, I like De Zerbi. I think he's very good. My concern is that it would be it's a bomb waiting to go off, right? Because De Zerbi doesn't take shit. Maybe it's what we need. I can see another Conte happening and him absolutely unleashing on Enoch and the owners, which maybe is what we need. Um, we will see what happens. Vindaloo says, right, I'm going before everyone goes mad later. So take care, buddy. Take care. Have a good day. Barbaric said, Vindaloo, good morning, youngster. Marianne says, unfortunately, Harry isn't a young man anymore. The club will kill him. Absolutely. I don't see Harry Redknapp coming back. And apparently, from what I've heard, his wife is poorly as well. So I don't see that happening. I don't know how true that is, by the way. I'm just saying what I've heard. Freddie saying De Zerbi is a literally a tap in for the board. Get it done, you frauds. Let's see what happens. I mean, he has just left the job. So let's see. It could be the easiest signing we ever make, right? Andrew Gregory says that Frank's pre-match team talks must send the players to sleep by the way they come out in the first half. I'm so fed up with us never starting quickly. It's just embarrassing, isn't it? It really is. Bod the Cap saying first people out the door need to be the clowns in charge of recruitment. Truly shocking over the last 5 years. Absolutely. And the Stoic says 40%. Amin says 70%. Aussie. Coys says 80%. A lot of people think we are going down. Steve says 65%. Williams 90%. Wow, we're in a spot of bother, aren't we? And Ryan McFarlane saying 100% if Frank stays. If he is gone, 50-50. Wow. Kate says, Nige, we're Lewis kids and those tossers in the ground watching that lackluster performance. Where were they? I don't see them anymore. You know, when they first come, they seem to be at the ground every week. Now, I don't see them. I don't see them. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Who knows? Aussie Coy says, I can't see where the next win comes from. I'm with you. I just can't see it. Palace at home. I don't see us beating Arsenal. I don't see us beating Fulham. Palace at home, suddenly a 6-pointer. We have to win that game. And by then, guys, we could be in the bottom three. This is really worrying. Really worrying. Cookie says 80% plus. No idea, no fight, no clue. Bang on. Bod says we need at least 4 wins. Not looking good, to be honest, and that's where I go. Leeds at home, Forest at home, and Palace at home. Those are 3 of the wins. If we can pick up 1 away win as well, then we should be okay. Listen, those wins are not going to be easy, by the way. Our home form is wretched. Steve says 12 days is a long time in football to get a new manager and to work with these players. I agree. It is a long day. It's a long time. 12 days, that's nearly a couple of weeks. Get a new manager in today. Get these players working. We need something and need something quick. Guys, if you haven't, I will go on again. Smash that like. It is so important. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Andrew said, it's squeaky bum time, Nige. It so is. It so is. I was just expecting so much more last night. And I feel so let down by this club currently. I really do. I feel so let down. Cookie says get Harry and Roy Keane in. Harry for tactics, Keane to rip the players a new one. You know, maybe Redknapp is an advisory. Like I say, at his age, I don't think he'd come. It is a long way. Of course, he lives in the sandbanks, doesn't he? And so I think it's a long way to come every day, but maybe as an advisory, who knows? Aussie Coys says 12 days rest to get someone new to start building something. Absolutely 100%. Magras saying, honestly, firing Ange killed the team. All the momentum and the team building was instantly thrown in the bin. Yes, 17th and 22 wasn't nice, but injuries caused that. Not Ange, please realise that. Well, yeah, but then we could use that excuse for Frank, couldn't we? You know, he's got 12, 13 injuries. Listen, Ange wasn't good enough. That's how I see it, right? Ange wasn't good enough. Yes, he won us the Europa League, but as a manager for Spurs, he wasn't good enough. We lost too many games. Frank is the same. He's not good enough. But also, 2 years of these players losing a lot of games, a lot of these players are not good enough. And there's so many people to blame. The board are not good enough. Some of the people we hired up there are not good enough. There's not enough football men in the club. I think it's a shit show from top to bottom, Magras. I really do. But what changes, I don't know. Aussie Coy says Tell is terrible. He is. He is. You know what? I got a bit of a soft spot for Tell because he does put effort in. At least you see him trying, right? Some players you don't even think they're putting effort in. At least Tell tries, but he hasn't got the quality. He hasn't got the quality. Um, I don't know. Like I say, I think Tell's the sort of player that goes elsewhere, and he will be a good player for another team. For whatever reason, it's not working. But I like the effort he puts in. But this is where we are, guys. I'm liking effort from a player. That should be the bare freaking minimum, shouldn't it? Figan, I'll just call you Figan, says, I'm utterly depressed. I'm really scared for the future of the club. Painful. Absolutely, mate. I couldn't agree more. And this is where we are. This is our club, guys. This is the club that we love. The club that we love. And they're just letting us down again and again and again. And I'm so fed up with it. Let down again. The club that we love are being absolutely destroyed by this ownership. And all we can do is sit and watch. Sit and watch as our club burns down. And I don't know what to say anymore. Ghost is saying I would take Sherwood with King as assistant. Definitely think we need someone Spurs in there for now. If Poch is the man, and I'm not sure whether Spurs could come out and say, yeah, Poch is the man, because that might underpin his USA commitments. And, you know, obviously he can't come to the summer if he does anyway. But you know, how would USA fans feel if their manager has already got another job somewhere else? So I kind of get it. We can't announce it, but I think if we're going for Poch and getting an interim in, I absolutely think we should be 100% going out and getting Tottenham men in. Men that get the club, men that understand it. You know what I saw last night? Teddy Sheringham at the ground. One of the greatest strikers in my lifetime. Love Teddy Sheringham. Get him in. Get him in. Get a team of them in. Players need to understand what it is to play for Tottenham Hotspur, and I don't think they do, half of them. I really don't. Aussie Coy saying if we get relegated, it will financially ruin us. 100%. We are in a lot, and you're just following it. Stadium debt, transfer debt, sponsorship deals, and everything. Yeah, we will be. We will be. We might survive it for a year, but we'd have to go up first year. We'd have to go straight back up. But I agree, we would really, really be in trouble financially. Um, Listen, I'm not really a finance guy, but I think we would be. I really do. Ghost is there. At this point, I take most managers over Frank. It clearly isn't working for him anymore. I've given Frank plenty of time to turn it around, but enough is enough. 100%. That's exactly where I am. Golden Sun says people still yapping about Ange for F's sake. Listen, Ange is going to be on everyone's lips for the next 10 years, mate, because he simply won that trophy. Um, every manager now, I think, will be compared to Ange Postecoglou, which is crazy, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Big up to you, Golden Sun. Um, Epic 20, big up to you, mate. It says we can only smile without them right now. Absolutely. It's so difficult. Guys in, big up, guys. Says morning, Nige and chat. I hope you're well, guy. I hope you're not too depressed about Spurs. It is what it is. It's just football, right? It is just football. Carl is in saying, morning, Nigel chat. Good morning to you, mate. I hope you're well. And Drula's in saying, morning, Nigel. Has he gone yet? No. I keep checking Twitter, keep refreshing Twitter to find out, has he gone? Is he still here? And as yet, I'm just having a quick check again. Thomas Frank meeting this morning regards Thomas Frank's future. Vinay and Nick Boucher will decide if Thomas Frank gets to manage the Arsenal game in 12 days time. Meeting the next few hours to decide either way. But Lange and Vinay are pushing for Frank to stay. Kind of what we expected, right? It's kind of what we expected. It is what it is. He's going to stay, isn't he? This club haven't got the balls to do anything. They really haven't. Magras Sen, I talk about Ange because he was the only manager in nearly 2 decades to bring success. Yep, absolutely. I mean, he did, right? He won us a cup. But listen, Thomas Frank's still in the Champions League if we're going to be like that, isn't he? I know he's probably not going to win it. But listen, we had this with Ange last season. The league form was horrific. Most of us wanted him sacked. But it was like, no, we're still in the Europa League. Let's win that. While we're still in the Champions League, maybe the club are going to keep him. I don't know. I wouldn't, but we will see. Ghost has said Enix needs to hire better players, better managers. It's as clear as day to see. It's a combination of everything, but Frank is the only change that can be made at this moment in time. And this is it. This is it. It's all about. That's the only thing we can change. And yes, we are still yapping about. It's the only thing we can change, right? Is the manager. And no matter what we say, the buck always stops with the manager, and he's got to go. Steve says, watching Sky Sports News constantly this morning, waiting for the breaking news banner across the bottom of the screen, saying Frank sacked. Come on, Enoch, grow some balls. Absolutely. I don't think they will. Guys, 114 in the house. This is a great turnout this morning. But guys, please smash that like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. I'm 3 away from 1,430. If I can make it to there today, that would be absolutely fantastic. Ghost is saying, Golden Sun, I know it's boring now, but both Frank and Ange are shit managers that should be nowhere near a team like Spurs. Agreed. A lot of shit players in there as well, though. A lot of shit players in there as well. William said, Ange was crap. Frank is average. The team is shite. Kind of sums it up. I think. Yeah, kind of sums it up. Golden Sun said, no serious conversation can be had until the Ange yappers stop yapping. And yeah, again, like I say, I think, the fact that he won us a trophy would always keep Ange's name relevant at Tottenham. Andrew Gregory says, I'd like to see legends like Perryman, Roberts and Teddy go into the dressing room before a game to put a rocket up their asses. Absolutely. I think we need some of that, right? They need to know what it's like to play for Tottenham, what it means to the fans to play for Tottenham Hotspur. This isn't just some tin pot Premier League club. This is Tottenham Hotspur, the greatest club in the land. Tottenham Hotspur, the greatest club in world football. Yet when you rock up out on that pitch, you don't put the freaking effort in. It drives me nuts. I would die to play for Spurs. We would go down if I played for Spurs. I'll just say that. But I was still, at least I put the bloody effort in. Epic says the squad is a reflection of the owners. Absolutely 100%. And NTY says De Zerbi doesn't need to last a year or more. He needs to keep us up. Wake up, man. Absolutely. Listen, I'm not against bringing him in, but this is what I'm asking. Would he accept a job for 6 months? Would he accept that? Maybe he would. If he does, then great. We will see what happens. Freddie says the manager's default is to sit back. So naturally the team does that after they score. That's not the Tottenham way, though, is it? It's not the Tottenham way, which is why he isn't the man for the job. We need to. It made me laugh last night when I think the commentator said, the South stand trying to suck the ball into the net. Are you kidding me? There was no one in the South stand. Yeah, so many empty seats last night. But I don't know. Steve says, Golden Sun, what's your problem? I think it's just fed up. We're talking about Ange Postecoglou, maybe. Freddie says, facts. We can't think long term when we're in a relegation fight. And yeah, I guess we're at that stage now, aren't we? Right? We need something and something quick, a quick fix. Who that is, I just don't know. Daniel says we could be 17th and 2 points above relegation zone by the time we face Arsenal. Absolute disgrace. We need a winning run form here, and I don't see where it's coming from either. I really don't. Um, but guys, let's be nice to each other in the chat. It doesn't matter. It's all football. We all love this club. One Spurs King saying what worries me the most is about this fan base is how long it's took them to realise a manager is an absolute fraud. I think we just all wanted the manager to work, didn't we? A lot of us anyway, we just all wanted the manager to work. Um, Finn says Frank has been coaching these players for 7 months and they look lost that day. He has to go. I agree. I just don't think I just don't think he's the players are playing for him. I really don't. Epic saying 11 losses with 12 games to go. Ange had 22 losses. Yep. I'm going to try and escape from the Ange Frank thing right now. We're talking about right now, and that is the Spurs are not good enough by any mean. Shem says, how can a manager who had a season like Frank can come out with that after a game and say, I'm 1,000% sure I'll be the manager for the Arsenal game? What the hell? Yeah, I agree. I agree. He can't. He can't possibly know that he's going to be the Arsenal manager, right? The manager for the Arsenal game. He has to go. You cannot keep losing games. Marianne says, I believe that if we go down, we will stay there for more than 1 year, unfortunately. And this is the concern, right? If we go down, are we going to come straight back up? I'm not sure we've got it in us. I'm really not. The championship is a tough league to get out of. It's not just a question of, oh, we go down, we win the league next year. It doesn't work like that, guys. You know, anyone who watches championship football, it is a tough league. And I don't think Spurs, if they went down, would automatically come straight back up. I think we need some real proper footballers, some proper journeymen who have played championship football to hopefully get us back up. You know, kiss goodbye to the likes of Van de Ven, Romero, Xavi, you know, all of them. You know, we would be relying on players like Archie Gray. And no disrespect to Archie Gray, I thought he played all right last night. I thought he was one of our better players. But guys, there would be a fire sale if we went down, and I'm not sure how this Spurs team would look next season in the championship. Um, Dino, big up Dino, says, I don't want Frank to be sacked as I want the board and men in suits to own this mess they've created. Fair play. Fair play. Yeah, we will see. Kate says, Nige, both managers in trouble. You could see that their players were playing for how ours never got into first gear. They're not playing for this wet lettuce. They're not. They're not. Um, we're a mess. We really are. Warren says we blame Frank and Conte, and then people realise our club it's not the manager. What? See, this is where I slightly disagree. Listen, it is. It is. There's no doubt the board have a lot to answer for. The board are the main problem, no doubt about that. But I do expect the manager to come in and get something out of the players, and he's clearly not for whatever reason. It is what it is. I think. Listen, I think no fan wants to keep changing managers, right? As a fan, I don't want to keep changing manager. But when it comes to a point that we're just losing games every week and we're not even looking like we're going to win games, and at that point, you've got to say, okay, it's time for a change now. It really is time for a change. Margaret saying, 1,000, yeah. Ghost is saying, I feel like after last year we complained about Ange and then ended up winning a trophy in the end. This is why a lot of people didn't go so early. 11 days to North London. That is a good thing because we can stop thinking about football for a little bit. I mean, I can. I've got to do content, but it is what it is. Andrew Gregory saying we're 5 to 1 to 10 to 1 to go to get relegated. Wow. Wow. Spurs King says worst manager we've had in 143 years. That is factually true, actually, but I don't think he's that bad. I just for whatever reason it's not working. Daniel says there is no fight, there is no passion, there is no desire, 100%. And that is all we ask for, right? As fans, yes, the football would be great if we could play lovely football, but all we ask as fans is that you show passion, you show fight, and you show desire. And there was none of it last night in a game that we had to win. How many more times are we going to have this season in a game we have to win and we don't show up? I'm so fed up. Kate says, get the likes up and sub to Nige. 41 likes. Yeah, let's get to 50 likes. I really would appreciate it. There is enough of you in the house. 103 now to smash through 50 likes. So, guys, hit that like button. It is totally and utterly free. And you do not realize how important it is to YouTubers to get past those 50 likes. So thank you so much. And sub if you haven't as well. I'm now one sub away from 1,430. Ghosted says, I personally didn't watch, didn't have to complain all season again, but it goes so bad this time. There's only one option. Yeah, there is only one option. He has to go, right? Amin says, we need big numbers for the protest. Again, will we get them? Will we get them? I don't know. We will. I'm going to go down the chat, guys, because in about 5 minutes, I will be sending you over. Rain is in. Big up Rain. Says Frank has to go, but he's not the main problem. Average age of our bench last night was 21. 19-year-old without 30-year-old Polinia. The time to panic was the January transfer window. We desperately needed players. I agree, mate. I agree 100%. This isn't all on Frank. He's not the main problem. We know that. That is the board. But he is the man in charge of the team, and it's just not working for whatever reason. The injuries doesn't help. Of course, when you got this many players out, the injuries don't help. But for me, last night, when you're putting Gallagher right wing, come on, man. I mean, come on. I would have, you know what, that last 10 minutes, last 15 minutes, when we needed a goal, why not bring a Williams Barnett on? Give us something to get behind, yeah? The fans, the ground was flat. Bring a homegrown player on who's exciting. It's not like he's not, an exciting player. Bring him on. Just say, go and do your thing. Go and do your thing for 10 minutes. Try and get us something. For me, it was just, I don't know. For me, Frank hasn't really got a clue. I'll be honest. Don't think he's got a clue. I'm going to keep going down the chat, guys. Keep smashing that like button. It is so important. Barbaric saying, we can name every manager in world football. Nothing is changing at this club until the board and recruitment team leave. You can't move forward with no plan. And this is the biggest frustration, isn't it? As a Tottenham fan, no plan. Every summer and at the end of every winter window, we hear that there's a plan in place. There's a plan in place. Yet every window, there's no plan in place. Absolutely none whatsoever. Because we do what we do every season. Kate says Paratici wanted De Zerbi and Lange wanted Frank. Both Lange and Frank need to go 100%. Frank needs to go. Lange needs to go with him. That would be a big statement for me if they sacked Frank and Lange on the same day. Something needs to give. Darren, big up, mates, and 100%. We are toast. It feels like that at the moment. Who knows? Who knows, guys? A North London derby win could change all of that. Guys, I will miss your comment out. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just getting down the chat so I can pass you on to the 2 marks in a bit. Carl says, Nige, honestly, I feel like we're going to end up with Southgate. You know what? I'm not a Southgate fan at all, but right now, I'd take it. That's how desperate I am. I just think we need a change. I don't think it matters who's in charge at the moment. I just think we need that bounce to try and get us out of trouble. Magic says, big up, Nige. Big up to you, Magic. I hope you are well, mate. Guys, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Are we going to get people in, the manager in, to give us that bounce, to help us out? I so hope we are. I really do. Burke's born and bred says, if we go down, we won't be coming straight back up. I agree. It is what it is. David said, deluded YouTubers never played a top level sport, spouting drivel. Well, of course, listen, we're all just fans at the end of the day. That's all we are. We're spouting our drivel, right? Whether we're right, whether we're wrong, Who knows? And that's why you guys are in the chat to give us your opinion as well. But listen, it is what it is. We're all fans at the end of the day, and we all just say how we feel. Another failed upload says, at one point I was defending Frank, but now he needs to F off. Big up to you, Corey. Listen, I'm with you. I'm with you now. I really am. I'm with you. Thomas says 60 years as a Spurs fan, and I've said it for 3 years. Solanke, Madison, Johnson, Davis, Dragic, Richarlison, Spence should have all gone after last year. The worst side I've ever seen. Worst manager. We buy English won. Listen, I agree with you on a lot of that. I do think Madison's class, so I love a bit of Madders, and I don't think we'd be in this position if we had Madison in the team. I am going to say that. The Prez is in. Big up to you, mate. Says, big up. Sacking Ange was the right thing to do just because Thomas Frank is bad doesn't mean Ange was good. Just ask Nottingham Forest. This is highlighting what has been needed. But listen, it is what it is, right? We all have different opinions. Difference of opinions. It is what it is, and big up to you, Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. Listen, Arsenal are flying at the moment, but it's not done yet. We will see what happens. Thomas, get Robbie Keane in now. I'd love Robbie Keane back at Spurs. Don't see him coming unless it's on a full-time basis, and I think that would be a big risk, personally. But I would love him back at some point, definitely. Kate says, nice, they won't pay him the money. If it's too much money, that's the problem. That's another point, isn't it? They would have to pay out a lot of money to sack Frank and his staff, because it's not just Frank going, right? Is everyone. So I don't know. It is what it is, guys. Too darn so for saying Frank cannot motivate them. So many players are still sulking about the Anshak, and we need to move on. This is possibly true as well. Definitely agree that Frank cannot seem to motivate these players. That is 100% true. Simon says, Nigel, are you planning to do a fan show sometime? Absolutely. If there's enough interest, mate, I will absolutely do one. Yeah, why not? Absolutely. And I won't do a members one. You don't have to become a member to have a fan show. But yeah, definitely do a fan show at some point. Maybe set one up for next week before the North London derby. But absolutely good idea. I'm just going to keep going through the hoax. Hoax Death says the only conversation right now is who replaces Frank. Absolutely. And, there's not a lot out there, is there? There is not a lot out there. Magic says De Zerbi will kick ass. He will certainly kick some ass. I don't know whether they're going to be brave enough to get De Zerbi in. I think the board are asking for trouble if they get him in. Not that he won't do a good job. The Hotspur Hood's in. Big up to you, mate. It says, I said last season, carry on like this so we can go down next season, or 2 seasons, said 3 months or 4 months. It can be this season. Are people believing we aren't too big to go down? The bigger you are, the harder you fall. Absolutely. It's a concern, isn't it? Big up to you, mate. Tottenham are never too big to go down. We've seen so many big clubs go down. Villa, Leeds, Forest, Sheffield Wednesday back in the day. They were a massive club. They went down. It can happen. It really can. And he follows it up by saying, I don't think we will, but this could be the last chance before it happens. I think, yeah, it's absolutely massive. We have to stay up this season. I think we stay up this season. I don't think we'll have this worry going forward, I hope. But listen, it's a major, major concern. There is no doubt about that. Gary Potts says, you pommy sacked Ange, so you brought it upon yourselves. Oh, mate, come on. This isn't an Ange debate anymore. Ange was our manager last season. We've moved on from it. Mate. It is all about now. And don't really want to keep talking about Ange. Listen, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Nico says, has he left yet? Not yet. I'm going to leave it out. I'm going to send you straight over to the 2 Mark show. I think they have started. Guys, smash a like, hit a subscribe if you haven't on the way out. I really would appreciate it. Have a great day. Don't let Spurs get you down. It is what it is. It's just football. Have a great day. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay pure Coys.